The new football season is already underway. The official kick-off was last night at the Riverside, but there were no goals between Middlesbrough and Sheffield United in the Championship. And one of the early kick-offs in League One today saw Southampton face Millwall. They produced a goal apiece. We'll have highlights from both those games a little later for you. Well, good afternoon. Here we go again. Welcome to the first final score of the new football season. The plan remains the same, you'll be pleased to hear. We'll be bringing you all the action from the closing stages of today's games with the help of our reporters out and about and our two experts here in the studio, our dual genii, Garth Crooks and Les Ferdinand as well. Well, plenty more from those two later, but time now to get out and about to our live matches. Our first stop this season is Pride Park, where it's Clough against Ferguson, two of the great names in football, and they're watched by Damien Johnson.
Yes, thanks, Dan. Two managerial names there that echo down the ages. Derby, though, lead by a goal to nil. Miles Addison with a brave header early on. Peterborough came back into it. George Boyd had an effort disallowed for offside. Aaron McLean missed a couple of great chances. Some meaty challenges, and both sides going for it in the second half as the game has become increasingly stretched. Joe Lewis in the Peterborough goal has saved well to deny Lee Frecklington. It's 1-0 Derby.
In winning League One last season, Leicester only lost once at home all season. In the Championship, we've just had a goal, in fact, for John Roeder. Let's bring us up to date.
An equaliser for Leicester. Martin Waghorn on a season's loan from Sunderland with a close-range shot that was deflected in off a defender past Doris de Vries. The Swansea keeper, who'd earlier in this half saved a penalty from Steve Howard after a clear foul on Bruno Berner. Swansea had taken the lead in the first half through Ashley Williams, who then gave away the penalty. It's all square, though, one apiece.
Always nice when they go in when you're on air. Here's your stat of the day to dazzle your mates with. Cardiff have the newest ground in the Championship and also the longest-serving manager. Maybe dazzle was a bit strong, but they're playing promoted Scunthorpe today, and Garth Williams is in attendance.
Yes, good afternoon, Dan. It's Cardiff City 3, Scunthorpe United 0. Cardiff ahead 3-0 at the break thanks to 2 goals from Michael Chopra and a close-range tap-in from Jay Bothroyd. Chopra's first goal was a deflection off his heel. The Bluebirds' second goal came from a Joe Ledley shot that was tapped in from 2 yards by Jay Bothroyd before Chopra fired in from 6 yards for Cardiff's third. No goals yet in the second half. It's Cardiff City 3, Scunthorpe United 0.
Nottingham Forest's unbeaten run at the end of last season kept them up. They've kicked off this afternoon away at Reading, and Dan Rowan is watching.
A good open game down here between two new-look sides, but still goalless. Forest started the second half strongly. The hulking Adebola testing Federici, but Reading have responded. Jimmy Kebe denied by Morgan's last-ditch tackle, and Scott Davis is pile driver by Lee Camp. Reading 0, Forest 0.
One of the stories of today so far has been happening at Carrow Road. Let's get up to date. What a game it's been for Norwich and Ben Jacobs.
Nightmare for Norwich, Dan. They trail by 5 goals to 1. They have just pulled one back. Cody McDonald going clean through on the right-hand side and firing low between the goalkeeper's legs. But really, it's been the worst possible start. They've been woeful. 4-0 down after 21 minutes, at which point 2 fans ran onto the field and threw their season tickets back at manager Brian Gunn. One of them actually hit him. John Otsemabar's horrendous back pass allowed Kevin Lisby to tap in against his old club. 2 more sloppy errors gave Clive Platt an easy brace before David Fox rifled in a superb free kick. Lisby then added number 5 with a glancing header as Norwich's back line ball watched. The last time Norwich played in the third tier was 1960 when Johnny and the Pirates topped the UK charts with Shaking All Over, a title which just about sums up their performance today. Norwich 0, Norwich 1, Colchester 5.
Busy day at Leicester for John Roeder as well. What's happening, John?
Well, at half-time, Leicester made 2 substitutes, bringing on Danny Gesson and Martin Waghorn. Waghorn scored the equaliser a few minutes ago, and Danny Gesson has just put Leicester in front. Leicester 2, Swansea 1.
Well, 2 teams with a good chance of being there or thereabouts next May are meeting at Deepdale. It's Preston against Bristol City. Good afternoon, James Mason.
Afternoon, Dan. It's Preston 0, Bristol City 2. The visitors in complete control here. Summer signing Paul Hartley opened the scoring after firing home from the penalty spot just after half-time before fellow debutant David Clarkson made it 2-0 shortly after, slotting home just inside the area. Preston 0, Bristol City 2.
Neil Warnock loved managing Plymouth so much he plans to retire to the southwest of England, apparently. He's currently in the job, though, at Crystal Palace, taking on his dream team this afternoon, and Andy May is at Selhurst Park.
It's 1 each, Dan. Alan Lee with a bullet header for the home side around 10 minutes ago. He equalised after Plymouth went ahead thanks to a fortunate close-range top corner effort from centre-half Christian Thiemer. Lee started on the bench this afternoon, but came on after Stern John was stretchered off just 30 minutes into his Palace career. The striker's suffered a suspected broken arm after landing awkwardly. The home side looked like they could nick a win. Crystal Palace 1, Plymouth 1.
On a video printer, you can see there on your screen that Tranmere under John Barnes losing 2-0. Gavin Tomlin making it 2-0 to Yeovil. Tranmere starting with John Barnes, had to sell many of his players, not much money available as well, trying to rebuild his reputation in football. Now, before a ball was kicked this season, Barnsley were top of the table, alphabetically at least. Let's go to a South Yorkshire derby at Hillsborough today. Watching it is Yorkshire's finest for us, Alan Biggs.
Oh, thanks, Dan. Glad to be here. Certainly Sheffield Wednesday was South Yorkshire's finest on the pitch in the first half, leading 2-0. It's 2-2 now. We've got a real thriller. Michael Gray ran the show, the oldest man on the field at 35 in the opening half. He set up Jermaine Johnson's opener, then popped up to bury a diving header. 2-0, but Barnsley always in contention. Jacob Butterfield's first goal for the club pulled one back, and now John Macken, with his fourth chance of the afternoon, has finally beaten Lee Grant. It's 2-2.
Well, League One is going to be a very interesting league this season. 4 big teams, 5 of them. 4 teams actually played in the Premier League 5 years ago. In the last 5 years, they've all been in their Charlton, and one of them we've had a goal at the Valley. Let's find out.
Charlton Athletic 3, Wycombe Wanderers 2 is the scoreline. Phil Parkinson couldn't have wished for a more positive start from his side. Remember, they find themselves in the third tier for the first time in 29 years. Chris Zabrowski has just scored another one to bring it back to 3-2. Terrific comeback from Wycombe after Daly and Lira both scored on their debuts for Charlton Athletic. And Nicky Bailey with the other goal, but it's all even Stevens now. Wycombe coming right back into it. It's Charlton 3, Wycombe 2.
Interesting at Ellen Road as well on the video printer. Leeds 1, Exeter 1. 2 straight promotions for Exeter, and Alex Russell has made it 1-1 there with about 17 minutes to go. Now, there are 7 new managers kicking off in the Championship this weekend. 2 of them at Loftus Road. It's QPR against Blackpool, and Tony Lockwood can tell us what's happening.
For half an hour, Blackpool hardly featured, but the one telling statistic is that on 37 minutes, their centre-forward Ben Burgess struck the only goal of the game, popping up close in to drill the ball into the bottom corner. It took Jim Matilton 10 minutes of the second half before he made a substitution, a double change, Bazaki and Vine on to provide some cutting edge. Paul Rachubka with one exceptional save, Angelo Balanta close to an equaliser, and Helgeson has struck the underside of the crossbar. It's still QPR 0, Blackpool 1.
Well, Malky Mackay is the new man in charge at Watford. His team finished 13th last season, 1 place above Doncaster Rovers, and they start side by side at Vicarage Road this afternoon. Here's Andrew James.
Dan, remember the goal that wasn't here last season? Well, watch this game tonight for more controversy. Doncaster's Dean Shields denied a goal that did seem to have crossed the line. The officials less than convincing in ruling it out. The 2 goals that stood have been good ones. Watford going ahead with new signing Danny Graham rounding off a free kick move crafted on the training ground. And Doncaster's well-deserved equaliser was a looping header from James Hayter, fully 20 yards out from goal. It's Watford 1, Doncaster 1.
We'll come back with us to 1988. Wimbledon and Luton were playing each other in an FA Cup semi-final at White Hart Lane. How things have changed. Now, AFC Wimbledon are taking on the Hatters on day 1 in the Blue Square Premier, and we have a goal for Naz Premji.
Yeah, this afternoon, Dan, AFC Wimbledon 1, Luton Town 1. They've equalised and they're playing against 10 men now. Shane Blackett sent off for Luton for a cynical challenge. The substitute John Main stepped up to take the spot kick, and he made no mistake from 12 yards out. It's AFC Wimbledon 1, Luton Town 1.
It's getting worse and worse for Norwich at Carrow Road. Let's get an update from Ben Jacobs.
Norwich 1, Colchester 6 now. David Perkins with the best goal of the game, a drilled right foot effort flying into the bottom left-hand corner from 25 yards out. Still 13 minutes for Norwich to try and defend as Colchester look to build on their total. The consolation in the second half by Cody MacDonald proved not to be the start of a comeback. Surprise, surprise there. It's Norwich 1, Colchester 6.
Forget what I said about a good stat earlier. This is one to remember. Burton Albion are the 13th team to enter the Football League since automatic promotion was introduced in 1987. I can see Garth writing that one down. And they've just won the Blue Square Premier last season. They have a new manager, Paul Pescasolido, who took over in May. And we have a goal against Shrewsbury for Steve Lee.
Yeah, Shrewsbury 3, Burton 1. I don't think it'll be drinks all round for the Brewers tonight. They've made a really decent fist of it, but they now trail 3-1. The latest goal, a really soft one, a free kick from Joss Ladderby, which went through the keeper's hands. Shrewsbury went ahead through Jake Robinson, and Dave Hibbert made it 2-0. But Burton really fought hard, and sub Greg Pearson scored a deflected goal back. But all their good work has been undone. Joss Ladderby's made it 3-1 to Shrewsbury Town.
If there's one story that's baffled almost everybody this summer, it's Sven's return to English football at Notts County. Well, has the Swede made an impact already? It seems he has at Meadow Lane. Let's go there right now and get the very latest from Joe Spate.
Well, Dan, a crowd of over 9,000 are in party mode at Meadow Lane. Big spending Notts County named 7 debutants, one of whom, Lee Hughes, scored an opening day hat-trick in the space of 13 minutes, either side of half-time. Another new boy, Ben Davies, put Notts on their way. Bradford have been woeful, their fans are streaming away, but Sven's Notts County are flying towards a first opening day win in 9 years, and what a start. Notts County 4, Bradford City 0.
Goal at Pride Park for Damien Johnson to tell us about.
It's gone to Peterborough United, a penalty from George Boyd, won by Sean Batt, who appeared to be going away from goal. He was upended. The referee, Mr Taylor, didn't hesitate, pointed to the spot, and Boyd has sent Stephen Bywater the wrong way. An equaliser for Peterborough United. It's Derby 1, Peterborough 1.
Well, let's bring in Garth and Les. We've got loads to talk about already, only day 1 of the season. Let's talk about Norwich first of all, because what an awful start to the season for Brian Gunn. Probably hoping for so much going into this new season. 6-1 down, fans on the pitch, Garth throwing their season ticket at the manager.
I don't care what league you're in, you lose at home with a margin like that, you're under enormous pressure. The players are under pressure, the manager's under enormous pressure, the club's under pressure, and the season started in a nightmare fashion. And I was listening to the reports coming in through Carrow Road, and I felt desperately sorry for the manager. I think he's made an enormous amount of changes, about 11 changes, probably paid for 4 of them.
Yeah, he's bought 12 new players
12 new players in. So he was looking for big things. And it's taken him far more time than he realises to gel, and it's backfired massively. And when you get crowd, your own fans on the first day starting to throw your season tickets at you, you've got problems.
How hard is it to recover from something like that, Les, on day 1?
It's desperate, and you know, 6-1 at home. It's, you know, and there's still time to play. It's the worst possible scenario you can get off to. You brought 12 new players in, as you said, you wanted them to gel, but they haven't done that so far. You know. The one good thing about football, games come thick and fast, and you know, you're hoping that you'll be able to lift those players for the very next game, which is during the week.
It could be their biggest defeat since 1946. Just to compound everything else that's gone on this afternoon at Carrow Road.
That's a good stat. Let's talk about Sven. I know you always get a big smile on your face, Garth, when we mention Sven Göran Eriksson. What a story. We've got some pictures of him here. This was him before the game at Notts County today. We talked about the Sven effect. We wondered whether it would work, and it seems to be in full effect this afternoon.
Well, I have to tell you, he was amazing. I spent the day with him yesterday. He was as polite and as genial as ever. But he said something that was very interesting. 2 things he said that were very important. One, that Notts County will get promotion, which puts the players and the manager under enormous pressure. Failure is not an option, but he's got 17 players and 2 goalkeepers. So he's got to do something very quickly and bring in some big players. He's done it with Hughes, who's had a tremendous day today, and there's
Rodgers as well.
Rodgers has come in, so they've made a big impact. But the city's had a big impact. That whole region, Notts Forest, Notts County, Derby, it's buzzing again.
You were not in Nottingham this week. You saw it firsthand. Les, can I ask you about Leicester-Swansea? You've been watching that on the screens here in the studio. Leicester, who played so well last season, came up into the Championship and were 1 down today, but come back to lead 2-1.
They have done, you know. Fair play to the manager. You know, he's gone in at half time. They were 1-0 down, not really in the game, to be honest. And he's gone in. He's made two changes, changed 2 strikers, brought them on, and both of them have repaid him with goals. So and they look like fully in control of the game. And the way it's going, it looks like they'll win this game. So great start for them in the Championship.
Let's go to James Mason. We have a goal at Deepdale, Preston, Bristol City. Which way has it gone, James?
Yeah, Preston have got one back. Preston 1, Bristol City 2. The goal scored by big striker John Parkin, firing home from just inside the box to give Preston a late lifeline. Preston 1, Bristol City 2.
That region.
Damien Johnson is busy this afternoon. Another goal at Pride Park.
It's Derby who've taken the lead with 5 minutes remaining here. A goal-mouth scramble. I'm not entirely sure who poked it home. I think it may have been Paul Connolly, the captain. But it's absolute pandemonium here. Derby lead 2-1.
Here we go. Sven's in the news again. Notts County, Bradford, Joe Spates at Meadow Lane.
It's a 5th goal for Notts County, and it's another debutant, this time Brendan Maloney, on loan from Nottingham Forest, no less. Luke Rodgers set him up, he danced through the Bradford defenders, and it's 5-0 to Notts County, and Sven is standing with a broad smile across his face.
I thought we'd be eased into the new season. No such chance. Now, earlier we promised you highlights from Sheffield United's trip to Middlesbrough. That was last night, and also Southampton Millwall from League One today. Before we get to that, just a reminder that every game in the Football League this weekend has been preceded by a minute's applause. That's in memory of Sir Bobby Robson, who died 8 days ago at the age of 76. It was hardly a match packed with chances. Sheffield United's Keith Treacy had the first long-range effort. Borough's Danny Coyne watched it all the way. Here's a tale of two marks at the other end. The shot from long range from Borough's Mark Yates. The save from Mark Bunn on loan for United. The best chance of the second half fell to Stephen Quinn, who got his angles right. So too did Coyne. And it all finished a point apiece. One of the early kick-offs in League One saw Southampton take on Millwall at St Mary's, and the opening game came for the home side, the Saints going ahead through Matt Patterson. The replay will show some rather nifty footwork from Mr Patterson 6 yards out. The real drama, though, came at the other end. There's the first of two tackles from Wayne Thomas, and the second was deemed a foul by the referee, and therefore a penalty, as Thomas tussled with Jason Price. Alan Dunn had the opportunity to draw Millwall level, wonderfully saved by Kelvin Davis. The second wasn't bad either. But it wasn't long before the equaliser did come. A corner swung in, and Najim Abdu with a wonderful header from 12 yards. 2 goals in that game. We've had another one this afternoon at Loftus Road for Tony Lockwood, QPR Blackpool.
Yes, Dan, it's gone to Queen's Park Rangers. Peter Ramage with the equaliser, wide on the right. An audacious effort that flew into the top corner. It's 1-1. Just a shame that Messrs Bernie Eccleston and Flavio Briatore, two of the high-profile owners, left the game with 9 minutes to go. They've missed it, but Rangers are level at 1-1.
Now, the situation at Newcastle United has been a big talking point all summer. The owner, Mike Ashley, has been at the centre of much of it. So too Alan Shearer, who was the manager at the end of last season and hopes he can be again. Well, earlier on Football Focus, he broke his silence on the matter of the big mess at St James's Park.
My last conversation with Mike was on the Tuesday after we'd been relegated, and he'd said he's going to put the club up for sale and wasn't going to put any more money into it, and that's as far as I'm aware. I'm obviously aware that there's people out there who are trying to buy it, but at this moment in time, no one has. If someone comes in and buys the football club and wants me as manager, then everything is right, and they want to get the club back up to the Premier League, then yeah, I would dearly love the chance to finish what I started last season. It was very disappointing last season. Other than that, you have to believe me, and when I say that, I don't really know other than that.
Well, Shearer won't be in the dugout today for that 5:20 kick-off against West Brom. He's in the Match of the Day studio. Chris Hughton is in charge of Newcastle. Roberto Di Matteo has swapped MK Dons for West Brom over the summer, and he's been speaking before the match to Ivan Gaskell.
Obviously, your name immediately is linked among the favourites. What effect does that have on you as a manager and the squad? Is it a good thing, a bad thing, or do you completely ignore it?
Well, I mean, obviously all the teams have come down from the Premiership. They're going to be among the favourites to go back up. So it's part of the job.
And much of the talk, of course, has been about your opponents. A lot of talking, but that stops come 5:30 today. Have you taken very much notice of what they've been doing?
Well, we've focused more on what we have to do, obviously, and all I know about Newcastle is they have a very strong team out there, and I'm sure at 5:30 actually kick-off, they'll be forgetting about what's happened in the last couple of weeks.
So it'd be a relief to get started. Good luck.
Thank you.
Just a reminder that Match of the Day Live follows the news shortly after this programme at 5:20 on BBC One. West Brom against Newcastle, live from the Hawthorns. And then don't forget, 11:45 on BBC One tonight, your first chance to see a brand new programme and your first chance to see your team in action as well. That's the Football League show with Manish Bhasin. Let's talk about Newcastle. That is also going to be a fascinating story all season. It's been a mess all summer, and it will be interesting to see how they start against West Brom today, won't it?
It will be, and it's a situation you can't see getting any clearer. You know, we've been speaking about it since the end of last season, as Alan says. Everyone's in the dark about what's going on. You just feel you kind of feel that if Mike Ashley really wants to sell the club, then surely he's got to be putting it in hard to install a manager, I know, but surely it's going to be a viable asset if you've got things going in the right direction rather than selling your best players. Because I know Alan would have given him a blueprint of what he wanted to bring in and who he wanted to keep. Unfortunately, that's not happened. The two best players, arguably, in Bay and Basong have gone. And so, you know, whoever's buying the club is buying it in a negative way at the moment in time. And so, you know, it's a real struggle to see how they're going to cope in this division, because people are making them favourites to be up in the top four. Just can't see it. You know, with the way that they finished, they haven't got the legs in the side. Don't see how they're going to finish in the top four.
It's going to be a fascinating match to watch this afternoon. You can see it on BBC One, live from the Hawthorns, 5:20 West Brom against Newcastle. That could be the story of the later part of the day, but one of the stories of the afternoon is being written at Carrow Road, Norwich-Colchester. Ben Jacobs.
Norwich 1, Colchester 6. The nightmare almost over for Norwich. Garth mentioned that the new players, 6 of them in the starting lineup, had to gel. But what will be demoralising for Norwich is that Brian Gunn says in the programme that he bought early and felt that they had already gelled. Norwich unbeaten in their pre-season tour to Scotland, but they've totally blown that with poor defensive errors. Colchester, on the other hand, also 6 new signings on show. They have come together, and Kevin Lisby with 2, Clive Platt with 2, David Fox with 1, and David Perkins with a drilled effort to round it off will send them, for what it's worth, top of League One. There is 2 minutes for Norwich to endure. It's Norwich 1, Colchester 6.
You can see on the video printer the full-time whistles are starting to go. It's gone for Burton Albion, their first game in the Football League. How's it gone?
Not too good. Shrewsbury 3, Burton 1. No fairy tale start for the new boys, despite all their endeavours. 2 of the Shrewsbury goals have to go down as keeper error. Shane Redwood at fault with the first from Jake Robinson and the third from Joss Labadie. Hibber got the third, and Burton had a goal from Greg Pearson. 3-1 Shrewsbury.
We have another goal, would you believe, at Norwich. Will it ever stop for Ben Jacobs?
It looks like those extra few minutes were too much to endure for Norwich. Norwich 1, Colchester 7. Backline fell asleep, break down the right-hand side. Perkins, who got number 6, laid it back, and another substitute, Scott Vernon, tapping in from close range. An absolute shambles at the back. Brian Gunn with his arms folded. He doesn't know where to look, because everyone that is left in this ground is staring at him and wondering whether he is up to this job. It is a disaster. It is Norwich City 1, Colchester 7.
Late goal for Leeds. Jermaine Beckford has made it Leeds 2, Exeter 1. We're going to go to Hillsborough now. South Yorkshire derby, Sheffield Wednesday, Barnsley, Alan Biggs.
It's finished Sheffield Wednesday 2, Barnsley 2. Terrific game for the 30,000 here. The Barnsley contingent, the happier their side. 2-0 down at half-time. Jermaine Johnson and Michael Gray with the Wednesday goals. But Jacob Butterfield and John Macken have hauled the visitors' level. That's a fair scoreline from what's been a wide-open South Yorkshire derby. Big on entertainment, but I doubt there were any neutrals here to fully appreciate that. 2-2.
Late goal at Cardiff, another one for the home side as well, and another one for Gareth Williams.
Yes, Cardiff City 4, Scunthorpe United 0. A Peter Whittingham penalty after Chris Burke was brought down. The first 3 goals coming in the first half thanks to a deflection of Michael Chopra, a close-range tap-in from Jay Bothroyd, and a 6-yard shot from Chopra. It's Cardiff City 4, Scunthorpe United 0.
Our featured game in the Blue Square Premier today was at Kings Meadow, Wimbledon, Luton Town. It's finished there. Naz Premji's been watching for us this afternoon.
Yeah, it's finished. AFC Wimbledon 1, Luton Town 1 down. An entertaining game which ends all square. The Hatters took the lead through Tom Craddock's 13th minute penalty. The Dons regrouped and rallied and got their reward on 80 minutes. John Main clean through, fouled by Shane Blackett. Blackett saw red. Main got himself up and found the back of the net from the spot. It's finished here at Kings Meadow. AFC Wimbledon 1, Luton Town 1.
Also, full-time whistle gone at Pride Park. Damien Johnson has been watching Derby Peterborough for us today.
Yes, a 2-1 victory for Nigel Clough's Derby in the battle of the managerial dynasties. A late goal from the impressive Gary Teal sealed it. The home side took the lead early with Miles Addison's stooping header. Peterborough pressed for an equaliser and deservedly got one. Sean Batt upended in the area and George Boyd sent Bywater the wrong way from the spot. But Derby refused to settle for the point in what was always a full-blooded encounter, never short of endeavour. Peterborough should be OK on this showing, but it was Teal who poked in the winner. 2-1 Derby.
And Sven has brought some Swedish magic to Meadow Lane this afternoon. He's enjoyed it, so have the fans. And Joe Spate was watching.
They certainly have. An amazing start for Notts County. 5 goals. It could have been many more, and it certainly feels like the dawning of a new era at Meadow Lane. Debutant Lee Hughes was the hat-trick hero. A huge standing ovation at the end, but all the headlines will belong to Sven-Göran Eriksson, the man with the Midas touch. Notts County 5, Bradford City 0.
What a start for Sven-Göran Eriksson. Next stop, Madejski Stadium, Reading Forest. Dan Rowan.
An entertaining game here, Dan, between two new-look sides, but no goals. Reading with 3 up front began well. Kebe, Davis and Robson Kano all posing a threat. Billy Davis named 5 new signings in his starting 11, and the longer the game went on, the more Forest improved. Man Mountain, Adebola, particularly impressive. As both teams chased a late winner, the action became more frantic. Scott Davis's pile driver forced a save from Lee Camp as Reading responded, and even though Luke Chambers was sent off for a second yellow card, nothing could break the deadlock. 0-0 it finished.
Ben Jacobs has watched 8 goals at Carrow Road this afternoon. The bad news for Norwich fans is that 7 of them came from Colchester. What's the full time, Ben?
Norwich 1, Colchester 7. Welcome to League One with a huge defeat from your East Anglian rivals. A nightmare start. Norwich haven't won on opening day now for 8 years. Kevin Lisby opened the rout against his former club. Clive Platt punished 2 more defensive errors. Then David Fox smashed in a superb free kick. 2 fans then threw their season tickets at manager Brian Gunn before Lisby headed in his second. Cody McDonald in the second half did get a consolation, but David Perkins and Scott Vernon rounded off the demolition. Colchester, for what it's worth, do go top of League One. Norwich need to pray, and pray very hard, that this is just a blip. Norwich 1, Colchester 7.
First game at Cardiff's new stadium is finished very tidily for the home side. Gareth Williams can bring us the details.
Yes, it certainly has, Dan. Cardiff City 4, Scunthorpe United 0. Cardiff took a 3-0 lead thanks to 2 goals from Michael Chopra and a Jay Bothroyd strike. In the second half, Sam Togwell went close for Scunthorpe, while both Roy Chopra and Whittingham all went close for the Bluebirds before Whittingham's late penalty has made it at the new Cardiff City Stadium. Cardiff City 4, Scunthorpe United 0.
We're off to Preston, Deepdale. James Mason, full-time home siding taking on Bristol City this afternoon.
Equalise in the final minute, possibly the final kick of the game. You can hear the Deepdale fans going wild. They thought they'd lost on the first day of the season. They were 2-1 down. Callum Davidson, the new captain, has equalised. It's Preston 2, Bristol City 2.
Well, we are just about waiting for all the final whistles to go off. By the way, just a reminder, that game was 2-2 Preston there. Our graphic was slightly incorrect, but we are up to date now. And this is the first weekend of the football season, the first time that we can say that it's time for the classified results with Tim Gudgin.
Thanks very much, Dan. Opening with the Coca-Cola Championship. Cardiff City 4, Scunthorpe United 0. Crystal Palace 1, Plymouth Argyle 1. Derby County 2, Peterborough United 1. Leicester City 2, Swansea City 1. Preston North End 2, Bristol City 2. Queen's Park Rangers 1, Blackpool 1. Reading 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Barnsley 2. Watford 1, Doncaster Rovers 1. West Bromwich Albion and Newcastle United have an evening kick-off. Coca-Cola League 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 0, Walsall 1. Bristol Rovers 1, Leyton Orient 2. Carlisle United 1, Brentford 3. Charlton Athletic 3, Wycombe Wanderers 2. Gillingham 5, Swindon Town 0. Leeds United 2, Exeter City 1. Milton Keynes Dons 0, Hartlepool United 0. Norwich City 1, Colchester United 7. Oldham Athletic 0, Stockport County 0. Southampton 1, Millwall 1. Southend United 2, Huddersfield Town 2. Yeovil Town 2, Tranmere Rovers 0. Coca-Cola League 2, Aldershot Town 3, Darlington 1. Bury 0, AFC Bournemouth 3. Cheltenham Town 2, Grimsby Town 1. Crewe Alexandra 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 2. Lincoln City 1, Barnet 0. Morecambe 2, Hereford United 2. Northampton Town 0, Macclesfield Town 0. Notts County 5, Bradford City 0. Port Vale 1, Rochdale 1. Rotherham United 1, Accrington Stanley 0. Shrewsbury Town 3, Burton Albion 1. Torquay United 2, Chesterfield 0. In the Blue Square Premier, AFC Wimbledon 1, Luton Town 1. Altrincham 1, Ebbsfleet United 1. Cambridge United 0, Barrow 2. Forest Green Rovers 1, Kettering Town 2. Gateshead 0, Histon 3. Grey's Athletic match with Chester City postponed. Kidderminster Harriers 1, Hayes and Yedding United 0. Mansfield Town 4, Crawley Town 0. Oxford United 2, York City 1. Rushton and Diamonds 0, Salisbury City 2. Stevenage Borough 1, Tamworth 1. Wrexham 3, Eastbourne Borough 0.
Well, if you missed any results, all the results from today's games are on the BBC website, bbc.co.uk/sport. Follow the links to football, guys. We've not got much time, but Garth, Sven, first of all, what a day for him, what a day for Notts County.
We've got to stop thinking about Sven. Ian McParland has been responsible for this victory. Sven is the director of football. Ian McParland is the manager. Congratulations, Ian. Great start. You've got to win the championship.
And Les, what a miserable start for Norwich. 7-1 at home in the first game of the season.
I think it's the heaviest home defeat ever. So, you know, as a team, you know, you can only look up from here, can't you?
Well, what a start we've had to the first day of the new football season. Guys, it's been wonderful to spend the afternoon in your company. We'll be seeing plenty more of these two over the season. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. That's not the end of the day's football, though. A reminder that you can see all the goals and incidents from the games we've been talking about on the sofa here. That's tonight on the Football League show from 11:45. That's BBC One. And at 5:20 after the news, it's Match of the Day Live, where West Brom take on Newcastle at the Hawthorns. Stay with us for that. Final Score will be back next week. Gabby Logan will be here on the sofa. But from us this afternoon, what an afternoon. Goodbye.